Now we're going to turn the neck to the one side. We're going to use the palm of the hand to push the trapezius muscle out towards the shoulder. You are mainly using the palm of your hand here with slight to heavy pressure, and you're just tracking the trapezius muscle, which is your shoulder muscle, touching the top of your neck all the way to the side of your shoulders. This is the one that gets really tense when you get stressed up, have a lot of work to do. So this is very relaxing and very necessary to make this massage effective. Now we turn the neck so we can work on the other side, and we do the same. Start at the very top of the neck, use the palm of your hand and pressure all the way down to the shoulder. Shoulder and work our way up to the top of the neck. Use the middle part of your fingers, of your knuckles, so to speak, and use fairly heavy pressure to track the trapezius muscle again all the way to the top of the neck. Make sure that you ease down the pressure the higher you go up the neck, as the neck area can be very sensitive. And now repeat this on the other side. Use the front part of your knuckles to move over the same area as you've just effleuraged with your flat hands. Move all the way back underneath the neck, continue to work with your knuckles, and then come back up to the chest. Make sure you don't press too hard, as the top of the chest can be a very sensitive area. The next movement, we're going to lift the neck. Start by effleuraging as you did in the very beginning, your fingers in the middle of the chest, around the shoulders, and then touch the fingers underneath the neck and pull slightly up towards, as if you want to lift the person's head off the table. Don't pull too hard, as you don't really want to lift the head off the table. You just want a nice pressure around the neck as you lift it up. This is a very relaxing move. Don't do it too heavy, but have a nice pressure onto the back of the neck as you lift it up. We're going to do some cupping. You basically cup your hand. This is not slapping, as that can be very painful. We're just cupping the hand, and then with both hands move all over the area as quickly as possible. This brings a lot of blood into the area and a lot of heat, which is good for the muscle. Then we're going to do some hacking with the side of the arm. You might have seen this used in movies before. Once again, move very quickly all over the area. The pressure is light to medium, and you don't whack hard into the muscle. Then we're going to do a bit of slapping. You just use the front of your fingers or your hand and just pull the muscle or slap it lightly all over the area. Remember, we are not actually slapping the muscle, but more pulling it as you're putting your fingers down quickly all over the area. We're now going to do the buttocks. Move your hands up and to the sides in 3 movements, then go all the way to the top, round the shoulders and come back. The pressure is nice and light here, and once again we're just doing this to spread the oil and to heat the area up before we start massaging it. You can do this 2 to 3 times. We are then going to do knuckling on the same path, up the spine all the way to the top of the back, around the shoulders, down the side and back to the beginning, and then we do this 2 to 3 times. Here you can start using light to medium pressure. Nice movement to do. You're going to start at the one side of the back and then move all the way towards the other side. Starting just above the buttocks, you're basically going to use the top of your fingers and walk like a spider, and then drag your thumbs up the spine from the bottom to the top. Make sure you grab a nice bit of skin and muscle, as you can see here, and just drag it all the way to the top. Next, we're going to do circular movements under coccyx. This is the lower part of the spine. It takes a lot of strain, and it's a very relaxing movement using medium to heavy pressure, just massaging with your thumbs into the lower part of the coccyx, as you can see the therapist is doing here. Next, we're going to do thumbing of the spine muscle. You basically use your thumbs, hold on with your hands on the side of the back, and then push off towards the side of the spine with your muscle. You only work one muscle at a time. Make sure you never work across the spine, as this is very dangerous. Then you move to the other side and do exactly the same. Now we're going to do a similar movement in the same action, but you're going to use the palm of your hands and use a little bit more pressure. Remember, we're using medium pressure here, and don't press too hard just yet. You just use the muscle and squeeze it towards the side. Then you reverse this movement and drag it towards you, covering the other side of the spine. Next, we're going to do a ringing movement, but now you're going to use your whole hand and only do it on the one side. You basically take your fingers all the way underneath the abdomen and then drag it back up towards the spine. Now do it on the other side, one hand at a time. Make sure you've got enough oil so you don't cause friction or pinch the skin when your hands come past each other. Okay, now we're going to use a little bit more pressure, but still be careful. We're going to use just the palm of our hands. We're going to use just the palm of our hands to really get into the lower part of our back. All you do is use the palm, start at the top, and then squeeze down, moving only up to the middle part of the back, and then come back again. Now we're going to cover the same area, but use circular movements with our thumbs. This time we're going to move all the way to the top of the back and the bottom of the neck. sure you work each thumb just on a specific muscle and you don't cross the spine. Nice medium pressure and stay on that muscle. Some friction movements around the shoulder area and the neck just to warm it up. You basically take your hand, support it with the other one, and use medium to light pressure to just do circular movements around the shoulder. Then move to the other side. Now we're going to do a friction movement that you're familiar with. Once again, make sure you get enough oil so you don't burn the skin. And then with your flat hands, quickly move up and down all over the upper back. Just using the front of your knuckles, moving from the middle back up towards the shoulders. Nice medium pressure. Then we're going to move on to some kneading just with your fingertips. Make sure you cover the whole area and you really push into the muscle. It's almost like a coining movement, but this time you start with your hands already spread and you do not point your fingers first. Then we're going to move on to the shoulder and neck muscle. You're going to start by doing circular movements on the trapezius. On both hands, put your hands underneath the shoulder and with your thumbs make circular movements starting on the outside of the shoulder towards the upper part of the neck. Then we're going to move into knuckling of the neck and shoulder muscle. We're going to start by just massaging and kneading the trapezius and neck muscle. Start on the outside of the shoulder and move all the way towards the neck. Be careful and keep the pressure medium to light as you really massage the trapezius muscle and then moving into the neck muscle all the way to the bottom of the head. Start on the outside of the shoulder and then move towards the neck. Then we're going to do small coining movements, but we're not going to spread the hand out too much. We're going to start on top of the trapezius and just do small circles with the fingertips and move up towards the neck. We are then going to squeeze the neck and knead it with one hand, using the thumb to massage the one side and the fingers to massage the other side of the neck, just doing circular movements. Once again, don't pressure too hard as this can be a very sensitive area. Then we're going to push with both hands out towards the shoulders, starting at the top of the neck, using just the palm of your hands. Drag the trapezius muscle and really push it down as if you want to push the person down the table. Welcome. In this section, we're going to look at the arm massage. Once you've added oil to your hands again, you can start by effleuraging the person's arm from top to bottom to spread the oil to the area that you'll be massaging right now. Once again, very light pressure. You start at the top, move your hand all the way to the top of the shoulder, around the shoulder, underneath the shoulder, and then the back of the arm. We want to make sure we get oil on all the areas of the arm that we'll be massaging right now. Next, we're going to start kneading the bicep or the front of the arm. Making a V with your index finger and your thumb, you use light pressure just to squeeze the bicep muscle from the bottom all the way to the top of the shoulder. Now we're going to do the same thing but on the back of the muscle, or the tricep muscle as it's called. Start at the bottom, nice pressure, take a nice grip of the muscle, and then move from the bottom to the top. Almost like you're trying to squeeze something out of the muscle. The next movement is called ringing. You basically try and grip with your index finger and your thumb all around the arm, and then from side to side with both arms, you ring the arm. Make sure and be very careful not to pinch the arm when doing this. You use light to medium pressure from the bottom of the elbow to the top of the shoulder. Start at the lower left corner, move up to the top left corner, top right corner, and bottom right corner. Use different hands for each fanning movements. Once again, the pressure stays light. Also remember, whenever you work in the abdomen area, you're always working clockwise. Now we're going to do some more tracking, a little bit more pressure, still light to medium, starting at the bottom left hand area and working your way around to the other side. We are tracking the colon again from the one side clockwise all the way to the other side. Now we're going to do little circular movements, tracking the colon again from the bottom left hand side all the way to the other side. Pressure stays light to medium. You're doing little circular movements, just using the tip of your fingers. Next, we're going to do a move called cutting. You basically track the rib cage or the bottom part of the rib cage. Pressure is very light and you just use the outside of the hand to track this area from the top of the rib cage down to the bottom on the side. You then move to the other side and do exactly the same. Remember, the pressure stays light. Now we're going to do another cutting and lifting movement. Move your hands together to the top area of the abdomen and then cut the bottom of the rib cage all the way down. Take your hands all the way underneath the client and then lift it up, bringing your hands back to the starting position on the belly button. And then we're going to end off with some palm fanning again, very softly. And that concludes our abdomen or tummy massage. Now we're going to move on to the front part of the leg. First we start again by effleuraging the whole leg from the bottom all the way to the top to make sure we spread the oil on all the areas that we are going to massage, and we also warm the area up. Always make sure to put the towel over the areas that you're not massaging to keep it nice and warm. Once we've effleuraged the whole area, we're now going to move up to the upper part of the front of the leg and start doing kneading. Using your whole hand, but mainly your thumb and your index finger again, you take nice big chunks of the muscle and knead it softly from side to side with both hands. Make sure you move all over the area to cover the whole muscle, to not just stay on one specific spot. We're going to do some cupping. You basically cup your hand. This is not slapping, as that can be very painful. We're just cupping the hand, and then with both hands move all over the area as quickly as possible. This brings a lot of blood into the area and a lot of heat, which is good for the muscle. Then we're going to do some hacking with the side of the arm. You might have seen this used in movies before. Once again, move very quickly all over the area. The pressure is light to medium and you don't whack hard into the muscle. Then we're going to do a bit of slapping. You just use the front of your fingers or your hand and just pull the muscle or slap it lightly all over the area. Remember, we are not actually slapping the muscle, but more pulling it as you're putting your fingers down quickly all over the area. We are now going to move on to the buttock massage. Might sound a bit strange, but it's very relaxing. Your buttocks works almost in every movement you do. When you sit down, when you stand up, when you walk. We're going to start by effleuraging it and then move straight into kneading it. By now you will be very familiar with this movement, so just cover the whole area from the side to the top of the buttocks and make sure you really knead it nice and well. Then we're going to do dragging movements. Use both hands and just put it underneath the hips and then drag it up towards the buttock. Make sure you cover the whole area again. Then we're going to do some cupping again. These movements are particularly good for the buttock area and also help with cellulite reduction. Then we move into hacking the side of the hands again, quick movements all over the area, and then pounding. You haven't used this movement again, so you make a little fist, but then use it very similar to the slapping movement. So it just slightly touches the skin and the muscle. And then we move into slapping. So using the top of your fingers again, just covering the whole area. This is very good to bring blood into the area. We're now going to do the buttocks. Move your hands up and to the sides in 3 movements, then go all the way to the top, round the shoulders, and come back. Pressure is nice and light here, and once again we're just doing this to spread the oil and to heat the area up before we start massaging it. You can do this 2 to 3 times. We are then going to do knuckling on the same path, up the spine all the way to the top of the back, around the shoulders, down the side, and